Spring clean that podcast feed and skip the doom scroll. The Newsworthy gets you caught up on the day's news in less than 15 minutes and gives you some fun conversation starters along the way. It's quick, friendly, and informative. Search The Newsworthy wherever you're listening now and follow or subscribe to The Newsworthy today.
How can I improve the recall of my speech content, important tips, and even other people's names? Stay tuned and find out.
Welcome.
Okay, here's the question.
Serious?
How are we dark horses? You know, the ones everyone is betting against, the ones they don't expect to win, place, or even show on the track, and they'll even laugh on us when we talk about trying. How do we show the world our greatness and triumph?
Come on.
Well, that's the question, and this podcast will give you the answers.
Let's go.
This is The Dark Horse Entrepreneur. My name is Tracy Brinkman.
And push it out.
Well, hello, my Dark Horse friends and family. Welcome back to your daily dose of It's on the Tip of My Tongue Learning. I'm your Dark Horse host, Tracy Brinkman, and you, well, that's infinitely more important. You are a driven entrepreneur or one in the making, but either way, you're here because you're ready to start, restart, kickstart, or just start leveling up with some great marketing, personal, or business tips and results in order to build that beautiful business of yours into the empire it absolutely deserves to be. And that's why I'm here hitting you with yet another daily success episode on the Dark Horse Entrepreneur as we dive deep in success with actionable advice, tips, and steps designed to help you level up your game, because as we already know, there are no shortcuts to success except for taking those little steps towards your goal every single day. All right, so here's where I'm at today. What is this visualization, improving my memory, and why do I even care? Well, let me step back here for a second. I was reading this article about Ron White, and Ron White is this two-time national memory champion, right? Now, Ron has won the U.S. Memory Championship, I think it was 2009 and 2010, where he actually think he still holds the record for the fastest person to memorize a deck of shuffled cards, and he can memorize it in 1 minute, 27 seconds. What? All right, Tracy, that's all cool and all, but why do I care? You know, I think the reason I think you care is Ron White actually shared some techniques I thought were kind of cool, a little unique. They kind of spin off a previous episode where I talk about remembering people's names. And one of the cool things I found out is when researchers, I think it was at University of Texas, they conducted an MRI of Ron while he was in the process of memorizing information. They discovered that he engaged literally 35% more of his brain than the average person. Now, it's no wonder he's the USA Memory Champion, right? I mean, especially for 2 years running back in, like I said, 2009, 2010. Now, Ron uses this technique for memorization, and it's called LOCI, L-O-C-I, and this is Latin for places. And this is a memory technique based on the idea that a person can best remember places that they're familiar with. So if you take and link something like key ideas to a place that you know, it's a really easy way to do the recall. And that's the real challenge when it comes to memory, isn't it? It's not the, hey, I can remember this. It's recalling what it is you want to remember. So what Ron White says is that you can learn how to give speeches without notes and memorize chapters of a book and even recall names and faces using this technique. If he wanted to give a speech on, say, given the topic we share a lot about here, about making money, he would take the first 3 points, say he wanted to say money, and time management and communication, right? So what he would do then is he would visualize dollar bills on a front door, because that's one of his places in his home, right? And then he would visualize a clock with a picture, right? For time management, a clock, and then a telephone on a vase. Now this is making the assumption that the front door was the first position in his memory slot of, say, his home, right? So you walk into your home, the first place you walk through is the door, and maybe the first thing you see in your home is a clock, and then the second thing you see in your home is a vase. So now he's taken that association of the front door and putting the money, the dollar bills, on the door, and then walking into the house as he's going through his speech and knowing that, okay, if I look at the clock, first thing I see on the clock is Well, it's a clock. It's a picture of a clock. So there's a picture of a clock. So that's time management. And then the next thing he sees is the vase, and on the vase is a telephone. So now it's about communication. So then if he wanted to go into the speech further, he would walk into his home with more visual cues. And you can also use this to visualize names and instantly recall them. So maybe perhaps every time you meet a person, you in turn their name into an image. And we discussed this in a previous episode. I won't belabor this one too much, but certainly the practice of this. And Ron says if you do this for 60 days, you can literally have all kinds of pictures of hundreds of people, of names created and memorized and easy to recall. And you can certainly improve and amaze people with this skill. So let's review this real quick. One, you want to memorize, let's say, a map of your home and assign numbers to accessories, pictures, and common areas. So like I mentioned here, number one, if you start outside, number one would be your front door. Step into your home and then let's say look to your left, like reading left to right. And then number two becomes whatever is immediately to the left. And as you start scanning, the incremental numbers become the incremental pieces of items around your home. So perhaps it's a picture on the right. In my home, as soon as you walk in, the first thing to the left is an antique arcade game. And then next to that is another antique arcade game. And then next to that is a picture of my daughter, and then a piece of furniture, and so forth and so on. So each one of these would get a number. Now, if you're talking about wanting to remember points of a speech, well then number one would be the door. Maybe that's the overarching topic of yours. So in this case, the example we gave was money. So you could use dollar bills, maybe tacked on your door, or maybe your front door is a dollar bill, right? Then you say, and you open the door to get into the money. In the example we gave here of the speech, it was time management. So if I look to the left to that old arcade game there, maybe there's a clock sitting there right there on that arcade game, and that would remind me about time management, and I can go right into my time management piece of things. And then the next arcade game next to that would have a phone sitting on it, right? So I could talk about communication, or the arcade game could be two people talking to each other as part of the arcade game. And that's how I could easily and quickly remember those first three pieces of the speech I wanted to give. But the key here is to, again, memorize. Number one, memorize a map of your home and assign those numbers to those items and pieces of furniture around a room, and then the common area. So, hey, if you want to go from number one, your door, into your foyer, your entry space, hallway, whatever it might be, and then go into a room, the living room, the bedroom, the kitchen, and maybe this particular speech or this particular person is associated with your kitchen, right? Maybe they're a chef, maybe they like to cook, and then you can look in there and assign them one of the pieces of furniture or one of the accessories that are in that room. Oh, well, I'm going to remember Becky as the baker, so I'm going to assign her the mixer. So when I walk in, I look at Becky, I can't remember your name. What do I associate them? Oh, that's right. You like to bake. Oh, the baker, the mixer. Becky is the baker, is the mixer, right? So now you can start making those associations. So turn whatever you want to recall into that image. And then 3, visualize the info that you want to recall as an image on the furniture or accessory in the order that you want to recall it. All right. Quick little tip here for you. So when the next time it's right on the tip of your tongue, you can use these visualization techniques to help you improve your recall and even make an impression. All right, my Dark Horse friends and family, tomorrow we're going to chat about why you should always remember to close. Now, I know you want to keep getting all these daily success tips, so you're going to go on down there and mash that subscribe button. While you're there, go ahead and drop us a 5-star rating. It's free. leave us some kind words in the review. That helps us get exposed to other people on all the podcast platforms out there. And if you'd like to get to know myself and all the other driven entrepreneurs that listen to this podcast on a more intimate level, come on over and join us in the Facebook in the Facebook group. Go to facebook.com, and in that search bar up there, type Dark Horse Tribe in the search bar. You'll see us right there at the top. It'll say Success Tips for Driven Entrepreneurs, the Dark Horse Tribe. Come on in there and hang out with us. If for some reason you can't find us that way, go to your favorite web browser, type darkhorseschooling.com/Dark Horse Tribe, all one word. Press enter, and that will take you right there. I look forward to meeting you and learning from you in the group. All right, you get out there, you run your race, you get your results, and then let me hear about them. I'm serious. Come on into the Dark Horse Tribe and share with us there. Until tomorrow, think successfully and take action.
Thank you for listening to the Dark Horse Entrepreneur Podcast.
And you know this.
Thanks for tuning in.
Check us out at www.darkhorseschooling.com.
All right.
My name is Tracy Brinkman.